All right, today, let's talk Breath by James Nestor. This is a really fun book, and it's a fairly quick read. The central thesis of this book is that breathing is very important. And over time, most of us, more and more of us, are doing it wrong. So let's talk about how important breath is and how to do it better. One, if you're doing what you're doing is working, keep doing it. The author uses a combination of stories, studies, and anecdotes to support his case. Chronologically, he traces us back to our early ancestors and describes changes in their actual face shape that allow them to breathe differently than modern humans. Then he looks at different breathing practices in early and ancient civilizations and how important this was, not just from a cultural standpoint, but from a health standpoint. And lastly, he presents some of the scientific investigations from the last century that have revealed positive health effects from many common conditions, not just respiratory, but neurologic, circulatory, psychiatric. One of the fun parts about this book is that he investigates a lot of these techniques and strategies, devices, even medical evaluation personally. He visits several gurus to the book and uses these approaches as a guinea pig to fix some of his own problems. My main takeaway from this book, and I may be a little biased, but it all seemed very osteopathic to me. One of the core tenets of osteopathy is that the body's a container and that all of the parts are related. So dysfunction of one system will have negative effects on other systems. I thought he did a good job of conveying that breathing is not just a breath. Breathing is made up of the muscles, the skeleton, the rib cage, and the diaphragm working with the gas exchange on a cellular level in the lungs, and the way that affects the blood flow to all these organs, all of which can activate the nervous system to send information back to the brain, which then results in a cascade of hormones which have varying effects. So what does this mean for you? One of the most tangible points from the book is that the perfect breath is a rhythm of 5.5 breaths per minute. Focus on breathing through the nose. There's negative consequences of too much mouth breathing. And the way that this breath works out is a 5-second inhale and a 5.5-second outhale. So it's that's kind of a long breath. And I know definitely for me personally, like over the course of a busy day, I'm not getting a whole lot of those in. And what we do know and what he cites in the book, and he meets with a lot of people, is the ability for that to now reset a portion of your nervous system, your fight or flight reflex, the way you process stress, what the power that rhythm has to do can get you more close to kind of your natural physiology. There's plenty of other things you can do. There's a whole appendix in the back about different ways to do it. This pulls on a lot of stuff from Wim Hof. Andrew Huberman talks a bunch about all these breathing exercises you can do that they've done studies on that may be helpful. But the main takeaway here is that the breathing is so important. Not just from an air perspective, but what that means for your skeleton, what that means for your mood, what that means to your overall approach to your day and the way you feel about things. So if you've not read the book, I highly encourage it. Check it out. It's a quick read. It's got a lot of fun stories. He meets a lot of cool people. And, what you can say is that we all need to be a bit more intentional in our breathing. So, happy breathing.